Sony has announced their Critics' Choice sale, which is currently going on right now, and it runs through February 18th. I wanted to do this video on some games that I really, really enjoyed, or games that I plan on buying. So there's a little hybrid of each, based on reviews that I have seen and based on some other stuff that really makes me interested in them. And I thought I would pick a handful of games for you guys to consider. Keep in mind, we're entering the final year of this generation. We will have PlayStation 5 in our hands by the end of 2020. It will be backward compatible, so anything you buy now will carry over. That said, I suspect many of you, I know I will be, jumping ship to the new generation and probably not looking back too much because the new graphics and the new games and the hot new things, whether it's Halo Infinite over on Microsoft's side or whatever Sony has yet to announce for PlayStation 5, will most likely consume most of my attention. So I think this is a good sale to invest in right now, primarily because you have time. It's going to be a quiet, as most of our game launch years are, this is going to be a quiet year for a while. We're going to start seeing stuff pick up at the end of the year like we always do. So you might as well clear out your backlog or check out games that you may have forgotten about before. So if you have a PlayStation VR, I have heard nothing but phenomenal things about Blood and Truth. It looks really, really cool. I will be buying this game and giving you guys a review on it in the future. Again, you have to have PlayStation VR. Unfortunately, they're not selling any VR headsets at a discount right now. A lot of times you can pick one of those up with a game or two. That's what I did 2 years ago, and I love it. So if you don't have a VR, maybe check it out, and then do yourself a favor and pick up Blood and Truth. Concrete Genie, definitely a game that went way under the radar. Very, very stylized. It came out at a very busy time of the year to, unfortunately, not a lot of promotion or publication regarding it. That said, it rated very, very high. It seems like a very endearing single-player adventure where there's a lot of art and imagination kind of laced into it. I wouldn't say it's like a feel-good game or anything like that. It's definitely not like a walking simulator. But it seems like a game that if you are a creative-minded person, you would enjoy. It was one that I was really excited about when I saw the last E3 announcement, which was a couple of years ago now. But it's finally here, and it's half off, so check it out. Control was actually a Game of the Year candidate. It did not win, but it looked really, really, really good. And it seems like it's a very in-depth third-person action-adventure game that normally is $60. I saw it as low as $30 at Black Friday. A couple places dipped down to $25 very, very briefly. But this game definitely got a lot of commercial attention. And I think as a result of that, you're going to see it at this high price point for a while. There's been a lot of talks that this would be a great Game Pass candidate. We just saw the list of Game Pass games announced today. Control was not on that list. So I don't think you're going to be getting it anytime soon on Game Pass, which is why I think if you have a PlayStation, you might want to invest in it now. Days Gone was an incredible odyssey of a game. It is a steal at $20. This single-player story probably will take you upwards of 60 hours to complete. It is a long, long narrative which spans across multiple areas of a map, multiple characters, and has a really solid payoff at the end. Something I really, really enjoyed. It sits very high on Metacritic. Now, when it first came out, there were a lot of graphical bugs and performance issues, which most of them have been ironed out. So you've seen the user score definitely start to rise up considerably. I think word of mouth on this game is people really enjoy it, despite the critics didn't initially enjoy it. I think it's largely misunderstood, and I think at $20, you definitely owe it to yourself to try it out. Death Stranding would have been my game of the year last year had I beaten it in time. I didn't know what it was entirely about when I began playing. Most people still to this day do not know what this game is entirely about. I've done many a love letter on my YouTube channel, including Let's Plays, talking about what this game is and what it is not. I think I got a slightly raw deal from some of the review scores. I suspect a lot of the reviewers did not actually finish it because they thought they knew what it was about and they were rushing to get their reviews out. It is a phenomenal Odyssey, definitely very bizarre, definitely a very Kojima game, but one that ultimately wraps up all loose ends at the end. There's no need for a sequel. There's no need to go online and try to figure out what you just saw. The game will make sense to you at the end, and it was a real treat to play. I enjoyed it. I don't see it going down in price anytime soon, considering its massive critical and commercial success. So I think $35 is a good entry point. Detroit Become Human, the price went down considerably after it lost its exclusivity to the PlayStation Network. You can now pick it up on the Epic Games Store as well if you own a PC. I don't think you need a high-end PC to play this game. It looks beautiful on the PlayStation 4 Pro. This is really a Telltale game on steroids. If you like Telltale, kind of your choose-your-own-adventure-esque games, but you want a game that has a very mature, very gripping, very elaborate story that spans across multiple characters, this is a game you're going to want to play. And I think $15 is a really good price for this as well. Next up is the Far Cry New Dawn Complete Edition, which includes the base Far Cry 5 game and the expansion Far Cry New Dawn Deluxe Edition, which normally would have run for $100, which is really way overpriced. You can pick it up for $30. If you don't want to rebuy Far Cry 5, in my case, I already have it for my PC. You can pick up New Dawn on its own. It runs anywhere from 10 to 20. I believe it's 15 on this sale. But if you have no idea what's going on in Far Cry, highly recommend you play these games in order. Far Cry New Dawn is an absolute sequel to Far Cry in terms of location, in terms of what you do in Far Cry 5, absolutely carries over into Far Cry New Dawn. You don't necessarily need to play it, but you're really doing yourself a disservice. And I think Far Cry 5 had a very interesting protagonist and a very interesting villain. And as you kind of play through the game and kind of figure out your role in things, kind of figure out who this Joseph Seed character is, it really all comes together. It's definitely an Ubisoft collectathon, but the weapons and the characters and the companions you pick up along the way are phenomenal. Lastly, Resident Evil 2, one of the best games last year, hands down. This game has been sitting at a full price for a very, very long time. The fact that it's reduced to $20 is an absolute steal. After you beat it once with one character, play it again with the other and see a very different side of what happened. Piece the two together to get some really cool bonus modes. Particularly fond of Tofu mode at the end. If you don't know what it is, Google it. It was really, really a lot of fun, and I highly, highly recommend this game as well. So if you haven't already, head on to the PlayStation Store on your console, or you can go on the internet and you can buy the games there. This was my quick overview and recommendation video for the Critics' Choice sale currently on the PlayStation Store. Hope you guys found this video informative. Thank you so much for watching. Take care of yourselves, and until next time, I will see you guys on the other side.